everyone, I'm here with John Chintanarode from Learn to Recruit, and he's going to be talking a bit more about his experience on the B2B Lead Machine program, working together, and a bit more about his business and who he helps. So thanks so much for joining us today, John.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ryan. I'm excited.
No worries. Well, first and foremost, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, or I guess more importantly, your business and who you serve?
Sure. So I offer a program that helps recruiters who work at agencies or maybe in-house at a corporation, how to start their own recruiting business, which is exactly my background. My background, I worked at recruiting firms for a few years in San Francisco and eventually left to start my own agency and did well, grew that. And now I get to help people who want to do the same.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Yes, the online training coaching space is very big right now, and yeah, it's great to be a part of it. So I'd like to, if you can, tell me how you found out about the B2B Lead Machine or b2bleads.com.
Yeah, I found you through, I think, one of my friends' groups or something, and I saw your post, and I was always intrigued of how to scale up. And I think I kind of watched your stuff for like a year. It took me a long time to even initiate a call because I was so afraid of automation. Because as a recruiter, LinkedIn is like your lifeblood. Like it'd be a death sentence in my career if I got banned. So even though I heard of automation for a while, I'm like, nope, too risky. I need to do it manually. Like I can't ever risk getting banned. But after a while, just seeing so many more people adopt it, I'm like, okay, let me just give it a try. And then, and that's when I set up a call with you and you kind of walk me through your system.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because ultimately it'd be nice to just have a custom message going out to every single person, but yeah, you're playing the rules of a game where you got to be on an even playing field, and you want to find out quickly people who are interested and focus your time on the right people. That was my experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, having done this manually, and I'm sure you as well, manually using virtual assistants and then automated.
Yeah, and I think for me, like I was probably a bit slower to adopt because when I started my agency like 8 years ago for my recruiting business, there was really no automation or it wasn't a big thing. And so I was just used to doing it manually. So I'm sure a lot of people out there are. So if you're somewhere out there that you're like me, used to doing things manually because it's how you've always done it, it's how people in your industry always do it. Like I wish I had adopted this years prior because it would have saved me so much more time and would have made me a lot more money.
Yeah. I wish I adopted it earlier as well.
Yeah.
So on the B2B Lead Machine program, what would you say has added the most value to you and your business?
I think it was probably like a combination of 4 or 5 different like time-saving shortcuts, if for like lack of a better word. So for example, I used to type in a similar message over and over again that I thought, okay, this is getting redundant. So I would have like a Google Doc where I would just copy and paste like my most commonly used like responses because they're all basically the same 5 or 6 type of messages. And then you shared one of the strategies of using a tool, a hotkey tool, where just with a couple of taps on your finger, it just spits out and I don't have to copy and paste. And sure, that might only save me maybe 10 seconds per message. But when I scale that over weeks and weeks and all of the messages I do, I'm sure just that one trick alone has saved me hours.
Yeah.
So that's one trick, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's I often hear like, oh, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
But it still takes time. And when you do the same thing, even something that doesn't take long, over and over and over, that's time that could be invested somewhere obviously more important, using your brain, high level thought. So it's
absolutely. And then so that's one example. Another one, it was like your CRM tool. It's based on Google Sheets, and I had Google Sheets for years, but I would manually type in the status like follow up with this person on this day. I would just type it in. And then when you have like your drop down menu system, I'm like, that's brilliant. I just never knew how to set it up. But now that I do, like I'll never ever have a spreadsheet again that doesn't have a drop down menu if it's something that is something I will use. So stuff like that. So it's not just the exact strategies, but I think the philosophy behind it, because after that I became obsessed, and everything that I could find that would shave me seconds or minutes here and there, I would just, and it's been compounding and the results have been really good.
Fantastic. Now, as you probably know, the coaching space is quite competitive. So I'm sure a lot of people want to know what would you say has helped you stand out on LinkedIn, and in your marketing in general?
You know, probably your messaging strategy was one of the biggest game changers, and it was something that the first thing I implemented that made that saw the biggest ROI, which is like your philosophy is, you know, and correct me if I'm saying it wrong, but it's really to be more direct upfront with the value. Because in the beginning, I was doing a sequence where I'd say, "Hi, like Ryan, I saw you're in my network. Would love to add you to my network and grow my network." Right, and then the moment they accept, then I would just start selling them something. And I think people just didn't like that. And I'd spend a lot of time with people that are like, "Hey, I'm happy to connect with you, but no, I'm not interested in your service," right? And so I flipped the script. And so now, in a very nice and still uh, likable way, I'm like, "Hey, here's the reason why I thought to connect with you. If this resonates with what you're looking for, be happy to talk to." And that just cut out like 80% of me going back and forth with people that were not interested, and only focus on the people who were. And that was just like amazing.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. If you're
Yeah.
happy to share, what would you say has been for you the most effective, I guess, tactic? I guess you've already kind of covered it in some of the, I mean,
Yeah.
what's helped you in the
Well,
program, but anything specific you'd like to share?
yeah, I think for me, I basically took what you gave me, and then I was able to scale it with hiring employees. So basically, with your program, I optimized my LinkedIn profile, my messages, my sequence, and it was generating tons of calls. But I'm like, man, it'll take me forever to reach my whole entire market. So then I, hired an assistant, got them to taught them the system, onboarded them, and they were basically doing it. And now I scaled it to 4 employees, or 3 other ones, including me. And
Yeah,
each
that's
employee
awesome.
is managing their own time zone. So I have one person only messaging East Coast and one person only messaging Central Time Zone, right? And then, and I basically pull all the leads to me, and they basically schedule calls on my behalf. And that's worked out really well. So uh, my advice would be, if you're out there and you're looking to automate, or you have automated, but you're looking to scale, um, I just feel like I have such a big advantage over other people in my niche, because I'm sending the best messages that I've tested with the right system of managing their conversation, and scaled it to 400% more than what one account can manage.
Yeah,
And I've never gotten any complaint from LinkedIn, no warnings. It's been 100% above water.
yeah, that's awesome. That's often what it's hard to communicate to some people, especially when I first talk to them. Like if you have a team of people and they all have LinkedIn accounts, there's potential there. A LinkedIn account is a valuable thing for, like, you have a genuine person who can help grow the company. And if you have an approach that works, very easy to start scaling up and just saying, well, if we message these many people, we'll get this many leads, this many
Mhm.
calls, we'll get this many sales. Let's do it again. Let's scale it up. So yeah, it's a really effective strategy, and it's good to hear you taking that one on board.
Yeah, and I think particularly because my niche in recruiting, everyone has a LinkedIn account. So there's no recruiter that doesn't have LinkedIn. So I think that was extra effective for me.
Yeah,
And so I think the combination of setting the right messages, scaling it, just having things organized, along with all of these time-saving shortcuts and strategies and tools, has allowed me to basically, I think I've almost tripled up my client base since we first met, just
yeah,
from, because before I would have to
fantastic.
pour in hours and hours of manual prospecting to get one call. And now like I almost don't have enough time to go, through all my leads every day, because I'm getting a lot.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, that was going to be my next question, is what have been
Yeah.
some of your results from the program? So tripling your client base is certainly nice to hear.
Yeah, triple my client base. In addition, I was able to increase my price as well by, I think, 50%, or actually more.
Nice.
Yeah, I've almost doubled my price, like 80%. I think just because as I started to optimize to spend less time on prospecting, I was able to put more time into my coaching clients and offer them more. And because I was thinking I was offering them more, it was able to, increase the value and the price of the program.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Something I found as well with paid marketing is because it
Mhm.
chews away so much of your profit. It's hard to reinvest that time back into your clients. Whereas the LinkedIn side of things, you're really just paying for the sales navigator,
Yeah.
and it's a great, really profitable way to generate clients, and you can reinvest that into actually helping your clients more. So it's really good to hear.
Yeah, like it's able to keep my business really lean in that, like, I think for every month, the first client every month pays for my overhead by 2 or 3 folds. So if I just did nothing besides close one client every 2 or 3 months, I still would break even, right? And of
Yeah,
course,
awesome.
I do more than that. So it's been really helpful, and also a way to kind of be at peace and just be really more relaxed about it, knowing that I have these processes in place. I'm not, I'm not worried. If I take 2 days, before my wife would say, "Hey, let's take a 2-day vacation." I'm thinking, that's 2 days. I'm not hitting the LinkedIn messages. I'm not doing messages. Like, I know when I come back, my pipeline will be dry. And I always felt like, well, maybe how about we don't go on vacation, right? And now I can be like, sure. And I know when I come back, I'm going to have a bunch of messages to respond to, right?
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's almost nice to have processes, at least I think it is, that
Yeah.
are harder to turn off than it is to just keep running. So it just kind of, it just works in the background, and you've always got something working hard and filling that pipeline, because it's always easy to forget
Yeah.
about when
And I think
the work comes in.
the state of things where they are now, with everybody, at least here in the States, working from home, right, because of COVID, I found it to be even more effective, because back in the day, like, I would message people on the weekend. It'd be kind of weird. Like, why are you on LinkedIn working on a Saturday? And I feel kind of almost weird sending people messages in the evening on the weekend. But now that everyone's online working from home in the States, that's why I'm able to run my automation messages 7 days a week. Just
Yeah.
I said normal hours to not be too strange, but no one's ever said, "Hey, why are you messaging me on Sunday?" So it's very normal now.
No. Well, I mean, you
Yeah.
can check it in your own time. That's the cool part about it. It's not like cold
Yeah.
calling where you call someone on a Sunday evening and they'll be pissed off at you. If you send it on
Yeah.
Sunday evening, big deal. They'll check it on a Monday.
Right. And then when I send them my calendar link, they can book whenever I'm free. So it's really just nice. So these days I open up my calendar. I'm like, oh shoot, like so and so booked a call. Like, you have a new booked call. You have a new booked call. And
That's
sometimes I don't even
awesome.
get a chance to even like read through their profile before the call. I'm just like busy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a good problem to have, better than before, where I would go like days without a call, and that was a worse problem to have.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's a good problem to solve. And it's, I know when I
Yeah.
first started business, that idea just seemed like a dream. So it's really nice to obviously have solved that problem and to be helping other people solve it as well.
Yeah, no, thanks. I really appreciate like the structure. I know it probably comes from your engineering background as well. Like, I'm a I'm an opposite engineer. I'm a more of a natural like salesperson and creative side, but then to add on the structure behind that, I feel like I'm able to utilize my creativity, but with a streamlined process that doesn't make me leak opportunity and through wasted time and stuff like that, right? So I think as a successful entrepreneur these days, you have to have both, like the structure of an engineer or that type of mind with the creativity and drive of a
Yeah. Well, for
creative person
me,
too.
me starting out, I it wasn't creativity I was missing. It was that real emotional connection. And
Yeah.
sales and marketing, whilst it is very data driven and is very analytical, you can't go past that emotional aspect of it as to what makes people buy. And it
Mhm.
really is understanding, what drives a decision and what drives the pain. And when you understand that, then you can apply really engineered processes, and that's the real fun part for me. But yeah, you
Yeah.
just can't ignore one or the other.
You know what's been like the fun part for me, which is the opposite of like, because my business is so capital efficient, right? LinkedIn costs and the automation tools cost almost next to nothing in the grand scheme of things to run. Like, when I'm on calls, if they don't like, whether or not they enroll, I don't really care that much. Like, I'm like, okay, like it's not a big deal, because that means that they weren't ready or I wasn't a fit. If that's the case, that's okay. Like, I don't really want to sign somebody on that's not going to be the best fit, because I know that, like, okay, because the business is set up such a way where it's very profitable. So that allows me to really just relax and make that human connection and just get to know them and relax a bit. And I don't use sales scripts when I talk. I just have a conversation. I show them my stuff and ask them if it's helpful and learn about them. And it allows me to kind of just, right, they feel like it's never any pressure to do anything they don't want to do, right? And it's nice. And I know that if I did not have an abundance of leads coming in and calls to them, I would be more like, oh man, I need to make this sale, otherwise I'm not going to pay my bills this
Yeah.
month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice to be in that relaxed state of abundance, of like not having to apply sales pressure to people and just It
Yeah,
feels like more of a fun conversation.
it's classic scenario where the more you need something, the harder it is to get.
Yeah, it's like people who are very desperate, like who, in the dating world, and they're like
Yeah.
eager to. They're like, why are you so eager for this,
Yeah,
right?
what's wrong with you?
It's very counterintuitive, right? From people who like, I'm not really looking for a date, whatever. I can leave it or take it, right? Those people
Yeah.
do it better.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess final question will be, what would you say to anyone thinking of joining b2bleads.com, the B2B Lead Machine program?
Yeah, I'd say just book a call with you, because one thing I appreciate on our call, it's something I actually started doing on my calls too, where you were very like transparent. You just said, well, I can do a screen share. And you just showed me what it looked like. Here's what this looks like. Here's what it is. And kind of check it out for yourself. You weren't using like a slide deck to show me like slide 4A, take a look at this, right? You're just like, here's my stuff. Here's how I do it. And here's how it works. I'm like, wow, okay, got it, right? It was very nice to see for myself how it
Very
worked,
engineered
all the moving
approach.
parts. Yeah, very engineered. I
The
felt like on
machine.
the call, the call's really, you just like pop in the hood, like, all right, here's this,
Yeah.
here's how the engine runs with that. And you need I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, I want that, right?
Yeah.
So I say, yeah, book a call, take a look under the hood, see how it works. And then, and if anyone is ever still afraid to scale with LinkedIn, just have them talk to me. I'll be happy to show them my stuff as
Yeah,
well.
perfect. And of course, if anyone is in recruiting and looking to start their own thing, definitely talk to John. He's a master of helping people set up their own recruiting businesses. And definitely get in contact with him for that as well.
Awesome. No, thanks.
Awesome.
I love it.
Thanks so much, John. Pleasure, and have a great day. And appreciate your time as always. You're a business owner as well, so I know how valuable your time is. So really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Take care.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
See you. Bye now.